especially on number 15. He rushed for, I'm guessing, probably close to 300 yards. And a guy like him and a back like him, you can't allow just one person to make the tackle. You got to gain tackle and run to the ball and get to the ball.
Keep it front left.
Chris, how disappointing is that considering after the Indiana game, you guys obviously went back to the drawing board and kind of thought you came up with something for Penn State? Did you expect to have much more success against them today?
I think so, especially with Coach Durkin and the schemes that he draws up for us each and every week. It's disappointing, especially as a defensive lineman when you give up close to 400 yard rushing. It's unacceptable.
If you have questions, please raise your hand. Steve on the left.
Chris, it's this time last year you guys were walking away, your season was over, now you have a bowl game ahead of you. I know it's kind of hard to think of today, but talk about putting it in perspective that way.
Yeah, I mean, this loss is obviously tough. You never want to lose to Ohio State, especially in the way that we did. But it's a bowl game. We haven't been to one in 2 years, and we're super excited for that. It's a chance for us to get better. We're going to get an extra 15 practices, and we're just going to roll with it.
Looked like most of you guys in the D-line didn't get a chance to go off the field hardly ever, if at all, today, especially with the pace they were running. How wearing was that on the defensive line? How much of a factor was that?
I think there was a couple times where I was kind of gassed, especially when they were driving the ball for those 10 or 15 play drives that they had. But for the most part, it's the Ohio State Michigan game. You're going to be out there and do whatever the coach says, and you're going to lay it all on the line.
Questions? Adam in the middle.
Chris, JT Barrett was able to break a couple plays on you, scored a couple touchdowns. Can you just talk about the challenge of facing JT?
Yeah, when you have a dual threat quarterback like JT Barrett, it adds that extra element when they run the zone read, when they run the option. It's not just looking at the running back as a threat to run the ball. You're looking at a quarterback that can run the ball too, and that's what they did today.
Were you guys concerned? I mean, given his reputation and his athleticism, were you guys concerned that maybe he might be able to hurt you guys today?
I don't think it was a concern. I think it's something you have to look at and game plan for, but not a concern.
In the far back.
Back here, obviously you addressed how emotional this game is, Michigan, Ohio State. Can you just kind of take us into the moments after when the coach speaks to you? What's the general message he's given you guys after this?
I mean, there's always the bowl game is obviously our biggest focus now. Those extra 15 practices to get everyone that much better and prepare for a team. We face them in the bowl game that'll be pretty good. So obviously we're disappointed with the loss, but I think there's a lot to look forward to. Like I said, with the bowl game, and hopefully we'll be in the position in the bowl game to win.
That's right, Jake.
Chris, were there any adjustments that you guys as a defense tried to make maybe in the second half, and how did you think they went?
Yeah, I think at halftime there's always adjustments that you have to make. Obviously, stop the run. We held them in the passing game pretty effectively, but as far as the run, you go into halftime and you say, what can we do better? And we tried to do that, but we kind of lacked that today.
Front left.
Chris, on the running game, was their scheme giving you guys problems, or was it just the ability of Barrett and Elliott in the offensive line?
I mean, we knew what they were going to run. We knew they were going to run power. We knew they were going to run zone read. So we were prepared for that. Obviously, there were some times where we weren't as prepared as we thought, or we didn't make the play where we should have made the play. But those two guys are two good players, and we were prepared, and we were game planning for them all week.
Keep it front left.
Coach Arbaugh said that, talking about the season in general, you guys closed some ground that you had to make up. There's still a good chunk to go. How far of a stride has this team made this year, and how much further is there still to go?
I don't think anyone really gave us a chance this year except for us. We were in it right till the end to play for a Big Ten championship, and that's going to be the goal every year. So I think, looking back at it, there's some good things that we did, and there's obviously some bad things that we did, and we just got to, improve on the bad things and build on the things that we did well.
Front left, Mark.
For the most part, obviously, you guys were highly ranked, as a defense in terms of your numbers and everything, except those two games especially. What happened in Indiana and Ohio State that was different? Was it just their personnel, or was there something with you guys in those games?
I mean, obviously the tempo in Indiana, and even today against Ohio State, they ran a little tempo on us, and that I think that's one of our weaknesses is handling tempo. you know, we saw it against Utah, we saw it against Indiana, and we saw it against today, and those were probably our three toughest games to play. So we got to get better at that.